Hey guys, for this video, I wanted to give you guys an inside the mind of what I think when you guys are asking me these questions, especially when you propose them as tough questions. I have a lot of students who come to me and they're not really sure how they want to articulate their questions, or they're not even sure if it's going to make any sense. But on screen, you're going to see a lot of prompts come up of what I'm actively thinking when you guys are talking to me. This is how I come up with my approach to coaching. A lot of people have wondered, how do I come up with my examples? How do I come up with my approaches, I guess, as far as how do I know what to say when even my students don't know what to say? So hopefully this is interesting for you guys. If you're someone who watches my videos and you ever thought about getting into coaching, or maybe you're someone who is a coach already and you're just trying to perfect your skills, really take your time to actively listen to what your students are saying and break down every single word so you can give them the best answers possible. So yeah, with all that being said, let's get into the video.
So it's kind of like hard to teach.
Oh,
But
we'll see
like
about
I'm
that.
trying to.
I don't think you know who I am, bro.
But like, okay, so I have a problem with my mix-ups, right? Like, it's not even that. Like, one, I don't think to do like another mix-up, and then I don't know the option, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people that I play like at locals and stuff like that, they always say like you do the same thing over and over and over and over again, and it's easy to punish. So yeah, like there's just things like that that I'm trying to work on, but I don't really know how to, if that makes sense.
Okay, let me ask you this. We'll do it kind of in a reverse engineering type way. Why do you go for the one thing that you go for all the time?
I guess muscle memory, or it works, or like for instance, like if I side B on shield and if the spacing's correct, if you just hold jab, like it's damn near automatic.
Mhm.
But some people like pick up on that, and then I like it's such muscle memory that I can't even stop myself from going straight to the A button. So it's just and not only can I not stop myself, I don't even know what other options to do. Like I try to jump away and they cover that, or I try to roll away and they cover that. It's just my mix ups are just not there.
So, with regards to Raptor Boost, would you say that you know that's not your only way to approach,
I know,
right?
yeah,
So,
yeah.
what it turns into for me, for a lot of players when they get stuck approaching in one way, is because they almost, I guess you could say, blindly believe that it always works. Or you can almost gaslight yourself into believing that when it works frequently and all the time and it's very consistent and you know what to do when it lands. And when it doesn't work,
Yeah.
you blame the fact that you did it at the wrong time versus saying that it didn't work. So when you play, let's say if you use a different approach option, let's say your different approach option is coming in with like a back air, for example, or you're running up and over for a down tilt. When that doesn't work, you blame the move. You say like back air doesn't work, or down tilt as an approach option doesn't work.
Yeah.
Right, that's the difference. So you gravitate towards what you know works, because let's say, for example, if you do land a back air, let's say hypothetically, you have no idea what to do once you've landed it. So now it feels like, okay, if I get it, the reward's not great, and if I don't get it, I could have gone for what I know was going to work as far as side B. Right, so this is turning into a little bit of your belief system to say a side B works, and that's great, but I need to now flesh out the rest of my character literally as far as my follow-up game or combo game out of other hits. For example, you could even be going for weak fair, which sounds like a very weird thing to go for, but at some percents, weak fair can knock someone down into a tech chase where you can get a jab lock into a down smash or a falcon kick and just kill them. But if you never use weak fair, it might feel like, well, why would I do this? I'm just going to go for what I always go for. But the timing for, let's say, weak fair is entirely different. Your spacing is entirely different. The fact that you're coming in on the ground versus like dashing back inside, or sorry, coming in from the air versus dashing back inside being, it looks entirely different to your opponent, so they don't know what you're going to go for, right? And also, if you're going for weak fair, you could also be going for, let's say, late to landing strong hit fair, which I'm not saying you should be approaching with this, but let's say as a punish. Or you could also be going for a tomahawk as well. So not fairing at all and just going for a tomahawk. Same thing with like landing back air into grab, right? Or you can go for like landing back air into instant dash attack, landing back air into, if they're too far away, you can get a tech chase and potentially get like a falcon kick, or try and catch them for like jumping away from it if they're very high percent where they're not going to get put into a tech chase. You can go like landing back air into jump, rising back air, landing back air into jump fair, right? So the reason why I bring all these different options up is because if you know the reason why you're going for the first part, as far as like landing back air or weak hit fair, or if you are going for Raptor Boost, if you know why you're doing it in the first place, you can now say, this is the, I guess, the risk and the reward for that option. if the risk for going for a back air, which I'm pretty sure your back air is -5 or -4 on shield. I know Ganon's is insanely safe.
Yeah, I don't really know too much about frame data. I didn't really I just know like what's safe, like kind of like on like my feeling it.
Mhm.
Probably should do the homework, but
So
sometimes I do like approach with back airs though. Like I'll do one of these and I just like and then just, and I don't know why that throws people off, just backflipping like that.
Mhm.
They really have no idea what's coming. But like once I
So hold
like,
on,
if I
let
go
me
for it
pause
and
you
it
right
hits,
there. Let me pause you right there. You literally just said the quiet part out loud. People don't even know what you're doing when you do those backflips, and it throws them off. That's a
yeah, that's true.
huge part of your approach game is trying to throw someone off so they don't know what's going to happen, right? So even if, let's say, as you're jumping in with something, maybe you don't know why you're doing it in the moment because maybe you're experimenting with your character, you're practicing, you're learning something new. If you try something different, let's say if I just go like this and then jump back like this, I might, like, let's say as an unexperienced player, I might have no idea why that's a good thing to go for. But if I go like this and every
Kind
time
of
I
bait
jump,
out options, right?
yeah, let's say I go like this and I jump towards you or jump away from you like this. If I see that you go for a grab out of shield, it's like, okay, what can I do that can punish a grab from here? I could dash and grab myself. I can go for a dash attack. I can go for a side B. I can jump at you with fair. I can run up and go for a down tilt. All I have to do is go like this first. But if you're in shield right here, and I just go for a dash attack or go for run up down tilt or a side B or any of these things without doing this first, then I'm going to get punished. Right? So I'll go like this to create some uncertainty or some hesitation in my opponent.
Yeah, so like I have this bad habit of just like immediately dash attacking in the beginning of like somebody told me, I don't remember who I was playing, but he said like I like in the neutral game I dash back 3 times and then I come in with a dash attack and like I don't even notice that I'm doing that. Like I went back and like watched the video because I like saved it on my phone.
Yep.
And I was like, God damn, I really do. And then like it's like short grab or whatever, but like I guess I'm just like so like conditioned to be like afraid to go for a grab because if you miss that, like you are so wide open. And then
yeah, so let's go back to what I said before. And then you're almost explaining it to yourself. If you miss a grab, you're so wide open. But what happens if you land something on shield that's not safe?
yeah,
You're still wide open, right? Insanely wide open. So that's going back to the idea of, see, this is why I don't go for grabs, because when I miss, it's super bad. It's like, well, if you dash attack someone's shield and you hit their shield, that's also super bad. But if you feel like, oh, well, if my dash attack was a little bit faster, it would have worked. You can convince yourself or rationalize to yourself that the option wasn't wrong. It's my timing was wrong, versus saying, like, if it's like, let's say grab is not your favorite option, it's like, okay, this is why grab sucks. It's like, no, grab doesn't suck, just the timing was wrong. Same thing with like dash attack doesn't suck, or back air doesn't suck. It's like the timing or the decision to use it at a certain time was wrong, right? So it's trusting the rest of your kit. That's what you have to start doing. So if you jump at somebody and you go for, like, let's say nair 1 or falling up air into jab, and they block the entire thing, that wasn't the wrong thing to do. It was the wrong thing to do in that situation. But to say that nair 1 doesn't work, or jab doesn't work, or falling up air doesn't work, that's a complete lie, right?
Yeah.
It's just it's the decision to be made at a different time. Whereas if you tomahawk grabbed, or if you dashed in, then let's say you went for a really well spaced down tilt on their shield, and they jumped out of shield, and then you went for like a raw back air to catch their jump, or naired immediately to catch their jump, then this is a different setup. I think, and I was literally just talking to my last guy about this too. Start thinking outside the box with your creativity to see what your opponent does, because you're playing against a human player on the other side of the screen, right? Who doesn't know what you're going to do or what you're trying to do, unless you do the same thing every single time, in which case then of course they know what you're going to do. If you always go like this, and then side B, it's like, I wonder what's going to happen. He's going to run to a certain point on the stage, which feels like the max range of your burst zone. Then you're going to dash back to try and bait me, dash in again, dash back to try and bait me. And if you did bait me, you go for side B every single time. And if you didn't bait me, I just go like this and I shield and I punish you, or I dash it away, you side B in front of me, and then I F smash or grab or side B you. You could be going, instead of going 1 2 side B, you could also go 1 2 grab, or just straight in and go for a grab. You can go for like a falling up air, dash back, side B. There's different ways to mix it up. And I'd say, like, as an example, very similar to music, or writing poetry or lyrics or anything like that. There's no such thing as wrong. It's just different, right? In math, we can say things are wrong. In something like an art form, or fighting, or music, or melodies, there's no such thing as wrong, ever. There's things that are less tasteful, I guess you could say, but it's not wrong. So if you're like, oh, I don't know if up air into side B is a good mix up, it's like it's only good if you know if you're using it at the right time, or if you're using it as, I guess, in conjunction with other moves or other setups to say, instead of going for falling up air side B, next time I'm going to go falling up air into like fair, or falling up air into a back air, or falling up air into a grab, right? Or maybe don't go for falling up air at all. You go for just an empty hop, and then you go like empty hop down tilt, right? Empty hop into jab, into jump back fair, because they're scared, and let's say they go like this. As soon as you jab their shield, they roll. You don't know what they're going to do, right? But if you keep that level of uncertainty in their head, then you can get much more creative. And I reference Tilde with this all the time, because in my opinion, he's one of the masters at doing this. If you've never watched his streams, you got to start. He'll run up to somebody and they'll be in shield, and he'll just go like this. He'll just jump in front of them like this, and they let him. Say, well, how is this a good approach? It's like, it's literally not. But he's done so many other things up to this point that they have no clue what's happening. They have no idea. He can go like this at the last second, falling up air, and then just kill you, right? You're like falling up air into like a back air and you die. Or he goes like this, and then you roll, and he goes like this, and then he kills you like that instead. Or he goes like this, and then he walks up on your shield. Oh, not like that. You like go like this, and you walk up onto your shield, go like this, then go like this, and just up smash and kill you, right? And none of those things are real, right? But they're not wrong. What I mean by real, as far as like statistically proven to be an approach option, it's like, it's just, you just did it and it worked, and then you start to build your belief system that this is an approach. Right? This is what it is.
So what do you do like, so there'll be times where like I'll notice that I'm, getting punished for doing the same thing, and I will think outside the box, and then like maybe it will work, maybe it won't, but then they'll pick up on that, and then I'll like panic back to my my comfort zone.
Yeah.
Like, I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, sometimes I'll throw out a random down air just like that, and it'll catch. And I'm like, oh. So now in my head, I'll go for it again, which is probably super obvious, like looking back on it. But I'll do it again, miss, or they'll counter, or whatever the case may be. And then I go right back to dash attacking, or go right back to side being, or go right back to whatever the case may be. And I'm just trying to like figure out a way to like, I guess like condition myself to, like not just like completely abandon the mix up if it misses, or if I get punished for it, or whatever the case may be. But I don't know. I think my go-to options are very, one, it's not many, and it's punishable. And once I like try to mix it up and it gets punished, then I'm just like, I don't know what to do, and I'm just gonna, and like I even have a bad mix up option like off stage too, trying to like recover. I don't know if that's just because of Falcon, because his up B's pretty like linear, or just like I just have a comfort zone. You know what I mean?
So here's what I would say with regards to the mix-ups in neutral or approaching or anything like that. Right now, I feel like you're in a position where you're thinking of a switch. And what I mean by that is you have option 1 and option 2. If option 1 works, you'll keep doing it. If option 1 stops working, you'll go for option 2. If option 2 stops working, you go back to option 1. So you're switching or flipping between the two different options. What you want to try and get to a point of, instead of having a switch, is you have a cycle. So instead of having one thing on the menu or 2 things on the menu, you have 6 things on the menu or 6 things on the cycle to say, okay, falling up air, dash attack didn't work. Dash up, down tilt, doesn't work. Run up and go for multi-jab, doesn't work. Like, you keep on trying all these different things, and don't cycle back to the first thing, basically ever, if you can help it. But if you only, like, let's say as your repertoire grows and grows, that'll be easier to do. I'd reference music once again. If you've ever been in a band, if you ever played like at a coffee house or anything like that, if it's something that happens weekly, if someone is a newer musician, they will constantly come and they'll play the same 3 or 4 songs every single week, right? But a more experienced musician that has a serious repertoire could do a 45-minute set or multiple 45-minute sets, and you won't hear the same song for over 3 hours. Same thing for your combo game or your mix-up game. It can be, you have 35 different ways of approaching, because you know what you're trying to get off of anything. Not to mention, if you happen to get a stray hit, you know where it's going to send your opponent because of the launch angles from your attack. And also you can convert off of that, let's say a tech chase situation or catching a landing or an air dodge or a jump read or whatever it might be. So this goes back to the idea of your certain hit, or all of your hitboxes not being useless. Everything has a purpose, even if it's, let's say, multi-jab or jab 3 or I don't know, up tilt in some situations is going to be very niche, but like there's certain things where it's like if I just up tilt someone and it sends them straight up, I can go up tilt, let's say as Falcon. This would be very random to do, but you could do this. Up tilt,
Yeah,
jump and scare them into air dodging, and then just catch them with fair. Or up tilt, scare them into air dodging by jumping, then go over here and up smash the platform because they air dodge like this,
yeah.
right?
See, I never think of that in the moment. Like I would get the up tilt, like I'll throw it out kind of randomly, and I'm like, oh, that connected, and I'll go straight for like straight up or whatever, or I'll back air or fair or whatever the case may be. I don't even think to like just wait a second and bait out an option and then punish that.
Yeah.
Like that, like I always see other people do that, and I'm like, man, that is so smart. But I can't even like, I don't want to say I can't, but like I have a hard time, like in the moment, like thinking, man, if I would have just waited a second longer, I would have got the kill. Yeah.
So this is a famous quote of mine at this point. This is the "you can't catch someone slipping if you never let them slip" quote, which is the truest of all true things in Smash, bro. You can't catch me making a mistake if you always try to hit me before I have a chance to do anything.
Okay.
The only way that works is if you're genuinely doing a true combo. But if what you're doing is putting you into a position of overextending, where I can clearly air dodge, clearly retaliate, or clearly jump away, then you're not going to catch me for air dodging or catch me for hitting a button when I shouldn't have, or catch me for wasting my jump, because those wasted opportunity or those wasted resources on my part are saving me versus hindering me. Right?
Gotcha.
So hit someone up in the air and then scare them, full hop, short hop, dash around, get underneath them, wait from the air dodge. And once they air dodge, it's free real estate, bro. Just walk underneath them, go for up smash, go beside them, get a grab, get an F smash, get a back air, get a falcon kick.